Dangote Refinery struggles with production hitches and a temporary shutdown. Depot owners have reportedly raised prices, leading to long queues and panic buying across major cities, including Port Harcourt. The Independent Petrol Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, blames private depots for taking advantage of the situation, while Dangote officials confirm they're currently loading only to their own and MRS trucks. Analysts warn that if the situation persists, we might see fresh hikes in transport, food, and manufacturing costs. Well, my guest is the National President of PETROAN, Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry, and he joins me virtually. Good day, Dr. Gillis-Harry. Thank you for making the time.
Hello, good day. Thank you, Nigeria Info. Thank you for having PETROAN online.
All right, always a pleasure. I understand you're here for a very short period. So straight to business. What is PETROAN's position on the current hike owing to hitches in production from the Dangote Refinery?
Well, Dangote Refinery is doing the best they can to ensure that they meet capacity production to our knowledge. In recent times, the industry has a little bit of restructuring and re-evaluation and re-strategizing. And so, of course, in these times, this type of disruption should be expected, but it will be very temporary, in our opinion, and it will be resolved as fast as possible. Everybody's hand is on deck to ensure that energy security and availability of petroleum products is done. So to my knowledge, I'm aware that Dangote is doing their best, DAPMAN is doing the utmost best, Mayman is doing their best, Petrol and Lupeng, every one of us doing the best to make sure that petroleum products is available and it is distributed equitably. So that is what I know as of this evening.
Okay.
Because we've been having series of consultations, and we are almost at the verge of ensuring that everything is properly streamlined.
Okay. Now, with what is happening with the refinery, because they tag the problem production hitches, people have been talking about the reliance on Dangote Refinery at this time. Any problem with that refinery, by extension, affects the entire nation. Have there been talks or moves about viable alternatives to the refinery? Because that should be the case.
Well, I can tell you right away from my position of mediation, because Petrol is actually serving all the tiers. We serve Dangote, we serve Gapman, we serve Ipman, we serve Mayman, we serve NATO, we serve Nupeng. Any one of these people that have retail outlets ultimately get service by Petron's, valuable and public-spirited service. So we are fully aware that all hands are on deck to ensure that the refinery capacity of Dangote is effective and is optimized. But that is not where we should rely on. We should work hard to ensure that the NNPC 4 refineries are up and running. And of course, additional refineries coming up, such as Bua, such as Litre Refinery, and all the modular refineries that are even planning to escalate their production capacity to 25,000 barrels per day are enhanced. And of course, Petrol, because we are the last time and we have thousands of retail outlets that are members of Petrol, we are also in the negotiation and discussion to make sure that we attract responsible and interested partners to be able to also enter into the refining, capacity. So we are not going to rely just on one source. But right now, we should not be proud and thankful that God gave us Dangote, who has the courage to do what he has done. I know there is a lot of he say, she say, I am for this side and for that side. Petrol is not in that capacity. Petrol is for the primary service. Awareness and aging is very critical. So our retail outlets are going to be working hard round the clock to ensure that we have these products coming from every source, from Dangote, from importers, from different sources. We'll make sure that there is enough product for our members to work their station. So that's what I can tell you for now.
All right. Now, Nigerians have raised concerns about the position of the unions, the Nupengs and the Pengatons of this world, stating that they did not hold the government accountable in making our refineries functional as much as they have fought Dangote. What's your take?
I think that is maybe wishful thinking, because I recall Nupeng and Pegasen in the early days of trying to cover that the government are not players listening to that. Finally, let there be a division of labor. Let the depot management, petroleum marketing association do their storage and distribution, while we, the retail outlet owners, take products from the nearest depots and ensure that we're able to deliver product to every station across the country. Thank you. I have to leave you.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Well, he did say he did not have a lot of time. It took a lot to try to get him for the conversation because he's supposed to be at a meeting. So I totally understand why he had to leave. But there are lots of questions, whether it's to PETROAN, to Nupeng, to Pegasen. Well, thanks to Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry, the national president of PETROAN, for giving us that time. I'm hoping that subsequently we'll be able to have him for a longer conversation. So at this time, petrol prices are very close to 1,000 naira. The reason stated, a hitch with production by the Dangote Refinery. But beyond the conversation around monopolization, which is one concern, if for any reason the Dangote Refinery cannot optimally refine and supply, Nigerians will be held to ransom. At this time, the marketers are blaming the private depot owners, stating that they have capitalized on this to increase prices. Well, there are lots of questions for lots of people, but for you, who do you hold the most responsible for problems in the supply chain? And for this particular price hike, is it the refinery operators, the private marketers, or the government? And what's your take on the entire drama? 0817-923-0002. You can call those numbers now. 0817-923-0003. Of course, I would have loved to have the PETROAN president for longer. But like he clearly stated, there are meetings that he needed to get to. And we just had about 5 minutes of his time. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. A message reads, what's the essence of Pegasen and Nupeng in a country where government refineries are not working? Well, I'm guessing that you and I are getting to find out in real time.
That used to employ people. And all this round, PETROAN and Nupeng, they have not tried to compare government since we the citizens are handicapped. It is unfortunate, quite unfortunate that a country that has food oil every day continues to suffer this type of a disgrace. Well, we know that the powers that matter, they will suffer. They have their own supply direct, but it is the mercy, especially those of us with negative strength, that will bear the pain. It is unfortunate. This country is not, I will say it's not working. It's working very fine. Because with defections here and there, the country is working very fine. But the petroleum industry is dying gradually. It's Augustus from.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Augustus. Can I squeeze in one more call before the break? Yes, I can. Hello?
Good evening, Shoshi.
Good evening. What's your name?
Ezekiel, I'm calling from Ogun.
All right, Ezekiel, you have a minute.
Mr. Shoshi, I will hold government responsible because they fail to do what is responsible and expected of them. Imagine federal government pulling weight with an individual. Imagine government pulling weight with an individual. Dangote now being a kind of nightmare in the oil and gas industry because they failed to meet the target of the so that Pegasen, Abdasen, whatever thing they are trying to do with their let them allow that man alone. Because it's a shame to them being called federal government to give us what we need. Thank you very much. Yes, again.
All right. Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Even though I get the point you made, you can't allow anyone, regardless of their savior complex or nature of business, to just do what they want to do. There are need for regulations, and that's why we have regulators. After the break. Card Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info, Sam Chinedu. Well, at this time, petrol is now selling close to 1,000 naira in parts of the country as the DANGOTE Refinery struggles with production hitches and a temporary shutdown. Depot owners have reportedly raised prices, leading to long queues and panic buying across major cities, including Port Harcourt. Well, Ipman blames private depots for taking advantage of the situation, while Dangote officials confirm they are currently loading only for their own and MRS trucks. Analysts warn that if the situation persists, we could see fresh hikes in the standard of living. A couple of minutes ago, before the break, I spoke with the national president of PETROAN, Dr. Gillis-Harry, and, well, he said that efforts are in top gear. They're trying to see what they can do. And as much as that is the truth, it's not the position any nation should hold. This is refineries that should be functional, but the hope of the entire nation rests on the shoulder of a business time. But who should be held for hiking petrol prices, particularly with this particular situation, thanks to production problems with the Dangote Refinery? Is it the refinery operators, the private marketers, or the government? And how has this hike affected you? I was also supposed to ask the Petrol president about gas prices. The numbers are called at 0817-923-0002. You can reach us via those numbers at this time. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Mr. Oracle, good evening, Mr. Joseph.
All right, go ahead.
Let me go straight and answer your question. Government takes 90 to 95% of my blame.
Okay.
Reason being that they told us that the reason for the removal of fuel subsidy is that there is corruption in the sector. And up until date, nobody has been held liable and accountable for their claim of corruption. Where is EFCC and ICPC? What are they doing? Why have they not arrested those that are responsible for the sabotage? We hear several times that there are cabal in the petroleum sector. Who are these cabal? And what are their mission? In recent times, they have tried every means possible to frustrate DANGOTE Refinery, leading to the recent strike, which they also try to cut off supply of crude oil into the facility. These steps are driven towards causing fuel shortage and fuel crisis in the country. What is government doing? We have our own nation refinery. Up until today, the area 1 to area 3 is still struggling. Technomo is laying off workers because they can no longer sustain. So no maintenance is ongoing. What is government doing? What is their mission? So government should take the blame. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Government should take the blame, he says. JJ calls from Rumi Igbo. Hello, JJ.
Yeah, Sam, I greet you this evening.
I greet you too.
You said we should take the blame?
Most of the blame.
Okay, most of the blame. In short, all the blame. NNPCL.
Okay.
They have not shown responsibility. They have shown Nigerians that they are like very wicked people. Sam, the NNPCL has 4 refineries, right?
Yeah.
Two in Port Harcourt, one in Warri and one in Kaduna. It's paying and not paying. And we are the ones in price. How do we increase price of product that you don't produce?
JJ, are you accusing the NNPC of using Nupeng to frustrate Dangote?
Yes. And not put water for mouth talk.
Can you substantiate? Can you substantiate those claims? JJ,
I'm listening.
Can you substantiate those claims?
You see, people say something.
No, leave your people. Leave your people, JJ. They did not follow you to make this allegation.
Let me tell you, this Nupenga Penga thing, where do they operate from? Where were these people when the the NNPC has spent over $18 billion, yet our refineries cannot work. But suddenly the one that is working, they are bent on bringing it down. And you're telling me it's not the one that gather that in garment. You know how much they're selling gas?
Good evening, Sam Chinedu.
Good evening. Good evening.
Most of our prophecies will continue to come to pass with its ultimate fulfillment. In the first place, I'm supposed to blame government. Government is the architect of all of these things. But there are these forces that we don't see. What are these forces that we don't see? What are these forces? These forces are in the government. 100 naira per liter of fuel, 1,000 naira a liter. That is to say that it is those forces in the name of cabals that are frustrating Nigerians. Federal government is supposed to look inward in in fuel sector, so that citizens of Nigeria will not participate. But so that citizens of Nigeria will not participate. But pathetic that we, the producers of our crude oil, are buying it at most expensive rate. It is totally unfortunate.
Thank you much. Greetings, Sam. We have crude oil, we have refineries, we have a government, yet we suffer like a nation without any natural mineral resources. This is shameful. Any day we get it right in this country, we'll have to celebrate like we just got independence. Reverse Truth from Port Hackett says on WhatsApp. Thank God Ability Atuebu says, Sam, it's a shame that a country that claimed to be the giant of Africa cannot boast of one functional refinery. We're just answering oil-producing country for mouth. Shame no they catch federal government. One man single-handedly built refinery. That's from Thank God Ability Atuebu. Okay, thank God. Thank you very much. Asetico A on WhatsApp says, greetings, Sam. There is only one devil to blame in this brouhaha. It's federal government. If you have an operational refinery, who cares how much anyone wants to sell their petrol? Nigeria, don't tire me. I hope that statement does not mean that you're about to leave the country. You go nowhere. We are all here together. And on Facebook, where we're live, Miracle Ima Ngere says, we should hold the government responsible for all this increase. They should know what to do, but they kept quiet as if they don't know that things have gotten high and they're punishing the poor because all these things do not affect them at all. But why the increase when we don't buy crude oil from anywhere? Well, there are lots of bottlenecks in the process, and that leads to problems that look like it's beyond our control. Ida calls from Nkoro. Hello, Ida. Good evening.
Sam, I greet you especially in Nkoro language.
Okay, bade that to you too.
Government about this fuel issue. Who is the Minister of Petroleum? Bola Tinubu. If Bola Tinubu decides that fuel will be sold for 20 naira per liter, they will sell fuel 20 naira per liter. So the federal government should do something about it. I'm not blaming the NNPC or any other agency. I'm blaming the federal government. Whatever thing Bola may pronounce today, it will play out. When they come out this fuel subsidy, they bring it back. My brother, who will buy something? You can buy curry, rubber, 10 naira. Because it's the fuel that is increasing everything. Federal government should do something about it. Not to blame NNPC or any other agency. Thank you.
All right, Ida, thank you very much. But as much as I get where you're coming from, that's not exactly correct. While the authorities can regulate prices, the president cannot just come and say fuel will be 15 naira tomorrow. Because there are market forces. It's a supply chain. There are lots of players in the ecosystem. Right? So, considering operational cost and all that goes into getting you and I to drive into a petrol station and buy fuel, there are too many players in that chain. It's not very easy to just say, hey, sell for 50 naira. There are reasons why it might be impossible to sell at that amount. But again, I get that the federal government does have the regulatory power around price, but it has to be realistic and reflect the market realities. Gospar calls from Eche. Hello, Gospar.
Yeah, good evening, Oracle.
Good evening.
Yes. we are going to blame the federal government and the president. We have a president and the federal government. So all the problem we are having now is from the two parastatals, the federal government and the president, because they are not taking a proactive measure to look at this sector. This sector is affecting all the economy and the transport, the food and everything. When he came, he said subsidy is gone. We thought something is going to be better. But now we have entered one chance. We are better then. When they said they removed subsidy, they went back down and we are still on subsidy. Who is fooling who? The masses are crying and suffering. This thing that Dangote would have come to help, they use their sledgehammer on the car and say, NNP they are monitoring there, the price regulators. They don't want Dangote to regulate, say what you want to say. They are not producing, but they want to regulate. That's the problem we have. Until you remove that bottleneck, allow Dangote to produce and sell. Let them produce their own in the refinery and sell. That's the problem. Until these two things are, if they don't remove this bottleneck, we'll be suffering and suffering, and they will sabotage the Dangote. They will even go and let his refinery stop working so that they can import and get money they get. This Qatar, they are worrying us. I don't know this whether they are from Nigeria or they are elsewhere. Please let us know them and tell them enough is enough. They are not our people. They are not helping matters. That God bless you. I want to go power from Okabichi.
All right, thank you very much, God's Power. The numbers to call once again: 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. Good afternoon, the Oracle. Countless times Alhaji granted interview before the refinery came alive. He had said he never knew the forces in the oil sector are more powerful than he thought. Honestly, NNPC in partnership with owners of oil blocks and politicians are on par with the blame. The reaction got triggered immediately. The very corrupt Gillis-Harry left as GMD of NNPC, Umoren from Rukwaku. The jury is still out on the corruption of Gillis-Harry. Sam calls from Aba. I've lost that call. Sam, call back if you can. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. Good evening, Mr. Sam. Any fuel price hike, it is a common man that will feel the pain. Nigerians buying fuel, 1 liter of fuel above 900 naira. This is more than a brutal assault on Nigerians. Fuel price hike compounding the challenge Nigerians are facing on a daily basis. Wanete Clinton West says. Back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. I'm to contribute my own quota.
What's your name?
The whole scenario is from the government.
What is your name?
And at the same, my name is Bashiru.
Okay. Go ahead, Bashiru.
Yeah. This crude oil, I don't think this is like government has saw this crude oil in advance. That is why all these things, they cannot have now to say everything to us. Because with these scenarios happening, the support must have resolved this since before the assumption of Dangote as functioning refinery, the only one we have. Because with all these things, I think government should take the blame for everything.
Okay. Thank you, Bashiru.
That is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. 0817 923 0002. Sam, good evening. Handsome from Aba. I didn't get your guest answers on why Pengerton could not calls. He said he was in Port Harcourt and countless times they had raised those concerns and asked the federal government to get the refineries working. But as you can tell, it never worked out. So that was his response to that question. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sammy.
Good evening. What's your name?
It's me, Stephen. I'm calling from Borokri New Road.
All right, go ahead, Stephen.
I think federal government should take the blame. My reason is, what is happening to our Port Harcourt refinery? They could not fix up that refinery so that this would be better. The only one single man can build a refinery. All these Benkasa, Nukasa, whatever sound they are, They want to go and stop that man from operating. Is that proper? So it's our federal government that should take the place. They should work on the Petrol Refinery, Warri Refinery, and Kaduna Refinery so that we can have enough fuel in the country. So that things will be better for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. Okay, call back if you can. Who's the Minister of Petroleum? That's where the confusion started. You see, Nigeria is... It's a very beautiful place. And I say that because even though we have the kind of challenges we have, a lot of times it helps to look at the problems we have as experimental. I think that's the best way to see it. And yes, it doesn't favor you and I because we have to complain about prices every now and then. But Nigeria is a literal case study of a country that can have every reason to succeed and somehow still struggle. Nigeria is like a child that has the best possible foundation, supportive parents, the resources to put you through possibly the best schools, the opportunities, the contacts, the access, the networks, and somehow that child falls short. Meanwhile, children who have less than you get to thrive. And it might be the case in real life because, you know, a child of privilege almost never understands the privilege that they have. But there's no reason why in Nigeria should have problems with oil. It just doesn't make any sense. And I'm not even going to say, you know, if you try to explain Nigeria and somebody understand they didn't do it well. I'm thinking it, but no, there's no need saying it. We are slowly getting out of the problem that we had, which was no functional refinery. Now, we have a functional refinery, but it's private. The only thing the government can do is to regulate, not control. And every now and then, when you have conversations about the petroleum sector, there's always a factor that exists that does not quite make sense to anybody. It's like those who have built houses. You have your budget, you're executing the project. There's always something that you never saw coming, right? Anybody who has built. Oh yes, let me use a common example. If you've gotten married, you're preparing for the trad, the white. We in Nigeria, we do almost 3. We go to court, we go to church, we go to village. No matter how well you plan and prepare, there's always one thing. There's always a factor that just shows up. Maybe it's an uncle in the village. There's something that you just did not see coming. And without solving that thing, you can't go ahead. That is what keeps happening. But it's great that it's happening because we're learning on the job how to fix a nation. My final call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Sam.
Good evening. Go ahead, Jude.
Sam, I completely blame government for
Okay.
what we're facing now with the fuel hike and the refinery working or not working. Pengassin and Luper do not have any blame at all. They are just an organization that represent the interests of their members, interests of those who work in the companies. They are about the Nigerians, the Nigerian society. Do we have anything to do when these refineries are no longer working? What has the people got to do? That question is as good as that. So the government has to take all the whole blame. Because when the refinery got to this point now, the government knew, or those working there for government, the NPCL, they work for government, they knew. It didn't just get to this point abruptly.
Okay.
It took a stage. They were only trying to make money, repairing and fixing what they could not. I have said severally in this section that refinery is obsolete. It may take time. People are spending a lot of money trying to fix it. It's undergoing remodeling, because this type is no longer in use.
All right, Jude.
So the NNPCL and government knew that it had become so bad. They only want to make money out of it.
Thank you very much. That's as much as I can take from you. Very quickly, my